More and more billionaires are getting involved in the Premier League. It is well and truly turning into the Super League, isn't it? And now Manchester United, owned by the Glazers, are up for sale. Apparently, the Qataris, who are claiming to have put up the best World Cup experience ever, are going ahead and interested to put in a bid for Manchester United. United, as you guys know, recently, since the 31st of December, have been putting up some incredible numbers, as we can see here, except the one loss against Arsenal, but that is definitely an improvement upon what they were doing before. United is looking dangerous again, and now with the Qataris wanting to take over the club, one has to ask themselves, how long will it take if this happens? How long will it take for Manchester United to become the club that it used to be? The one that was winning Champions League titles, the one that was winning the Premier League titles over and over again, and looking incredibly dominant with some of the best players in world football. I personally want to put that to the test. I want to go ahead and see what we can achieve with Manchester United, with Ten Hag. It's been a long time. I need to get involved into this project straight away. This right here is the Manchester United team as we know it at the moment. It's between Martial and Weghorst in terms of who plays in the starting 11 at the moment. It seems like the Dutchman Erik ten Hag obviously likes Weghorst, and he does seem to play him quite a bit. Martial and also many other players in this Manchester United team are very likely to be sold in this upcoming summer. So for the first season, I'm not going to make any changes. We're just going to sell a bunch of players when the next summer transfer window comes to keep it somewhat realistic as to what could happen. But I personally do believe the addition of Casemiro into this Manchester United team has been exceptional. The guy has turned around the sentiment in that team massively. And I do believe getting in a serial winner like him into a squad like this just instills so much confidence. So huge shout out to Casemiro. It hurts as a Liverpool fan to go ahead and say something like this, but that's the harsh truth. United are currently the better team than Liverpool, and it looks like moving forward, if they get these big investors, things could get even more exciting for them. Before we get any deeper, I want to know from you guys out there, how do you feel about these takeovers that are happening within the Premier League? Obviously, Newcastle, the freshest one, and they haven't really gone ahead and spent insane amounts of money. They are doing it somewhat realistic, so I personally want to keep this one realistic too. That's the big goal I've set for myself, but I do want to know your guys' opinion on all the money that is flooding into the Premier League and how all the other top leagues are seeming to be struggling more and more and having to rely on Premier League money coming in as transfer fees to basically be able to compete. I don't know how this is going to go. I really hope all the top 5 leagues, or basically all the leagues out there, can do well, but one needs to ask the question, how is that going to be possible? I personally think the Premier League is so popular mainly because it's English. English is the language that everyone speaks. Commentary is something that everyone understands. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about this Qatari takeover that might be happening. Let's do this realistic rebuild. Oh, would you look at that? We are straight away going into the Europa League final in this first season, where we have made 0 transfers, my friends. And I do want to know from you Manchester United fans out there, how do you feel? Like, how confident are you about this team and the direction it's going? I honestly do agree with a lot of you guys out there that think if you can let go of like 5 to 6 players, including players like Maguire and such, that aren't playing as big of a big role in the team now, I do think you can go ahead and make some amazing signings because you will be getting good money for those players. It reminds me a lot of when Liverpool got rid of players like Benteke, Jordan Ibe and such for really big money for no reason. I feel like if you guys can pull that off, it's going to be a big one. But now, let's see how this team has done after the first season with no transfers. We are looking at Sancho at the right-wing position. Why did I change him into that position? Why did I not necessarily trust Anthony? The reason behind that is I just don't think Anthony is that great.
How dare you?
I know he does skills and all that fancy stuff, but for me personally, in terms of footballing IQ, in terms of passing ability, Jadon Sancho, the one of Dortmund, is incredible. And if he can get to that level again, I think he would be sick. So Martial up top still. Rashford on the 86 rating. Eriksen is an 84 rated player now, with Bruno Fernandes next to him, 28-year-old captain, and Casemiro has gone up to a 90. So you can clearly tell there's a lot of quality in this team, and with this upcoming transfer window, with the sales that we're going to make, I would say, realistically speaking, looking at the money that Chelsea has spent, we probably should have around 400 million considering a Qatari takeover, because you don't want to go too far ahead by spending too much and, you know, doing things against the financial fair play rules, right, City? Damn! We want to go ahead and spend some money for sure, but let's see now how this team can do in this big final against Lazio. Can they win it? I do believe they can. I feel like Casemiro is going to do something. It's 2-1. It's McTominay scoring. Casemiro comes off. 1 minute later, McTominay scores, and Lisandro Martinez scores in the 18th minute. If you asked me who's going to score goals in a final, those two would have not been on that list. But hey, it's okay. Let's see now how the players have performed in the Premier League as well, because obviously that is extremely important to see the progress of Manchester United. Second place with just 1 point behind Man City. That is impressive. And I want to know who has scored them goals and then got them assists. It is Rashford. Yep, it makes sense. The guy is on fire right now, and I love watching him play again. I used to have a period of time when I really enjoyed Rashford. Then the downfall came, and he's kind of having the important moment in his career. He's grasping it, and he's really taking his chances, and I love it. Bruno Fernandes, 29-11, 40 goal contributions. And Anthony has done somewhat all right. Weghorst with 11-1, not too bad either. And Jadon Sancho, 7-5. Seems like Anthony, who was higher rated, has gone ahead and taken a little bit of playtime away. But for me personally, that might be one of the players you let go. But then again, obviously wouldn't make sense. We're going to let go of a lot of the players that you Manchester United fans probably don't even want in your team anymore. And here come the sales. McTominay. I'm sorry, lad. Fred stays, you go. Because I do think Fred is a bit more well-rounded as a midfielder, in my personal opinion. And I've heard that you guys want to see this guy go and cash in on him to make big purchases moving forward. So McTominay goes. Christian Eriksen, it's just an age thing. He's a great player, do not get me wrong. Henderson, I believe, has kind of cut ties with Manchester United in a really, really bad way. Fans don't really like him. I think after he moved away on loan, he was kind of talking a bit of BS. So I don't think you guys want him back. Van de Beek just gets injured all the time. His life at Manchester United is cursed. And I really hope he gets a move away and actually does well somewhere else where he can be fit and possibly go back to Ajax. Lindelöf was linked to Turkish sides, as far as I know, and some German sides as well on loan. That sadly didn't go through, but I do believe Ten Hag wants to let him go. Tejas, I mean, no future for him in this team. Harry Maguire 100% needs to go. Bailly needs to go. And then we have Laird, Williams, Tuanzebe, Diallo out on loan though. I think he still has some potential moving forward, but these guys right here we are letting go. And actually, funnily enough, I didn't touch the budget, but we are basically up to 400 million at this point. And I do think after all those sales, that's a realistic number. So here we go. It only makes sense, guys, doesn't it? It's been rumored. It's a deal that a lot of people want to see. His contract is running out at this stage. Harry Kane, welcomed by Erik Ten Hag. I think that right there is the transfer to make. If Harry Kane has any ambition of going ahead and winning titles, he needs to hop onto the Manchester United train. And for that, he is going to be great. Now, at this point when we're getting him, he's 30 years old. I do have one player in mind who can come in for him in the future if he gets too old and starts dropping down. But until then, Harry Kane is going to be the guy. We have spent 80 million on him, luckily, thanks to his contract running out. That's a great one for us. Now, Martial technically is someone that I should let go as well. I do believe United is keen on letting him go, so I could let him go as well and bring in a different backup striker into this team. But Harry Kane will make the difference in a team like this, because for me, he has incredible link-up play as a striker, has amazing passing, has great shot technique that I don't think many strikers out there in the world of football can rival. I do think when it comes to striking the ball, he might just have the best technique out there. I genuinely do believe so. And funnily enough, I do actually think he's going to go and play in the NFL as a kicker after his career in football. I do believe that's happening. Don't get me wrong. I know Ten Hag wants De Jong, but I personally think this one would be just as good, maybe better. Barella. This guy currently playing at Inter. Inter not necessarily looking too good. Probably not looking to achieve a lot in at least this year and possibly in the coming years as well. I do think Barella needs to make that next step in his career, and it just makes so much sense. Having a player like him in front of a Casemiro and next to a Bruno Fernandes would be incredible. At Inter, I believe he's already playing alongside Çalhanoğlu, if I'm not mistaken. Quite similar in terms of style of play to a Bruno Fernandes. I mean, obviously, Bruno is a better player, but a bit similar to each other. So I think he would feel very, very comfortable in a team like this. So making this transfer just makes so much sense. Now, this one cost me 110 million. It's a lot of money. It's a ton of money, but at the end of the day, I think he would be the perfect player for this team. It's either him or Frenkie de Jong, obviously, but the second choice after that would be Milinkovic-Savic. I think Savic, with his physicality, could do extremely well in the Prem as well, but for now, I've opted in for Barella. So now that we have kind of set up the starting 11, it's time to bring in the backup striker. Now, initially, I wanted to go for my second choice striker that I wanted, but that would have been a bit too much. I don't think that guy would be happy with sitting on the bench behind Harry Kane, but this one would be, in my opinion, Gonçalo Ramos of Benfica. This man is talented, but in my eyes, he is not going to be worth the money that they pay for him. I've watched Benfica plenty of times. Do not get me wrong. This kid is talented. He ain't bad or anything. The amount of big chances he misses, the amount of opportunities he misses, it reminds me of basically David Nunez at Liverpool at the moment. But David Nunez back then at Benfica, in that specific season where he was firing, was maybe just a tad better. So Ramos is the one that has taken over his position, and I gotta admit, man, he ain't bad. He's a good talent, but I feel like someone's gonna overspend on this kid, especially depending on how this season continues for him. I think right now he is injured, but he's gonna be the one that is gonna be the backup to Harry Kane for now. We can build him up, and maybe with some Premier League experience, he actually turns into the striker that he could one day be considered one of the best out there. He cost us 50 million, by the way, for an 81 rated player. That's a lot of money. Now, I need to move on Martial for sure. United fans, look away, because right here you can see that Manchester City has kicked you out of the Champions League in the quarterfinals. So we still have to improve, still not on the level of Manchester City in the Champions League, it seems, but in the Premier League, we have gone ahead and won it for United. 91 points on the team. Harry Kane and the lads are doing a good job, and I'm really hoping that you guys do consider this one to be a realistic rebuild, considering the Qatar takeover, not just going ahead and spending $1 billion on the team, but I think we have done well, considering we had let go of many players as we could, and then used that budget and not necessarily brought in like the budget of the Qataris, I guess. It's been really good right here, and I'm very happy with the progress we have made already. Harry Kane up to a 90, Rashford 89, Anthony on the 88 on that right wing, Bruno Fernandes up to a 90, Casemiro 91, Barella coming in and hopefully doing well, and that defense, especially Martinez, looking exceptional, and Dalot has taken over the position from Wan-Bissaka. Yes, Wan-Bissaka is gone. His release clause was paid, so I guess it's a deal that maybe some Manchester United fans would be quite happy with, considering that they were not happy with him at all for a very long time, and now just recently has started doing well again. Malacia has taken over the left-back position as well from Luke Shaw. He's higher rated, so we're going to keep it that way. And Martial, I sadly had no offers for the guy. He just doesn't want to leave, and if he doesn't want to leave, he's going to stick around as a backup. And having said that, I need to see, is Harry Kane the one? Yep. Harry Kane is the one, 37-7. And I honestly do think if he does go to United, 30 plus goals with over 10 assists, I can see that being realistic. Don't get me wrong when I say this, I personally think Varane is sick, but at some point there will be a time where Manchester United fans will want to bring in the future piece that will be playing alongside Lisandro Martinez for years to come. And in my opinion, and I believe in the opinion of a couple of people out there as well, Bastoni might be someone that is not necessarily going to stick around with Inter as well, just like Barella, even though with Barella, I might be even more confident, but then again, I'm not too well versed with Inter specifically. I'm just hearing a couple of things because of my connection to Sorare and looking into players there. And I've heard that Bastoni could be someone that is looking to make a big move in the future. Bastoni would be perfect right here. He is a centre-back coming into our club with the 87 rating to replace Varane, who was 87 rated. So it's just about perfect. He's left-footed, just like Lisandro Martinez. Having said that, that's probably not ideal having two left-footed centre-backs, but no one really complains when you have two right-footed centre-backs, so why should I complain? Anyways, this is the setup for the future. This is the only big transfer I can personally see happening because the rest of this team is already absolutely quality. But for me, still, in real life, Sancho over Antony any day. But that might just be me. Beaten Liverpool this time. Hey, United fans, you'll be happy about that one. Juventus in the semi-finals. Is it a win? Is it the final? It is, and it is against Manchester City. It couldn't have been better, could it? This is gonna be huge. I'm very much looking forward to it, guys. We have created a good enough team with a lot of pieces that are already at Manchester United and bringing in the ones that I personally think they will need at certain times. But for me personally, the one main transfer that needs to happen is the Harry Kane one. I think he would be exceptional in this squad. And Jadon Sancho has actually caught up to Antony, so he is in the starting lineup now for me. Rashford on a 92, Barella 90, Casemiro 91 still, Fernandes up to a 91, Fernandes I should say, Dalot up to an 88, Bastoni 91 alongside Martinez, Malacia red carded, that sucks, but we do luckily still have Luke Shaw who can play in this final. Still sucks that he won't be fit enough to play it for us, or not allowed to play it. Garnacho gonna go onto the bench, and you know what? I'm going to pop in a little bit of Pelistri here as well as the substitutions. Now, I do want to see that we have won both the, that we can win both the Premier League and the Champions League in the same season. Is that a possibility? It isn't. Oh my God, it's the same amount of points. That is ridiculous. What a battle between City and United this entire time. And lads, we are going to go for the big one right here. In the knockout, we need to kick out the Blues of Manchester. And I want to see who's going to do it. Who is most likely to do it? It's Harry Kane. 49 goal contributions. Rashford with 35 and 10. 45 right there, man. That's insane. Antony did all right. Fernandes did all right. Jadon Sancho has done well off the bench. Barella with a 7 and 3. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. And I want to know from you guys out there, like Manchester United fans, if you look at this team, would you be happy with this? Like, would you be looking forward to get a team like this done? Obviously, instead of Shaw, it would be Malacia right here. But I do think De Gea is probably going to stay. At this point, he's only 34 years old. Probably at that time, at that specific time, maybe they will have brought in a replacement. But I do feel like De Gea, there's a lot of haters. There's a lot of lovers of De Gea. Lots of people really like him. But I don't know. For me personally, I would be open to bringing in a new goalkeeper, someone like Maignan, for example. But yeah, that lineup for me would be quite successful moving forward into the future. Having said all that, it's time to battle the blue side of Manchester. And they are coming in with the likes of Haaland, Mahrez, Phil Foden, De Bruyne, Pellegrini from AS Roma, Rodri, Davies, Bremer from Juventus, Diaz, and Cancelo. Cancelo obviously at Bayern Munich. Oh, thank God. Such a good transfer for Bayern. And then Ederson in goal. Let's take it on. This United rebuild might be done very soon, but of course, we're going to have to play this in the mighty red. Here it is, guys. We're stepping up to the pitch and we're going to be taking on the City rivals as mentioned before. Now, obviously, it's going to be massive. If we could see a final like this in the future sometime, where Manchester United is going to actually have a really good team and be able to compete with the likes of Manchester City, I think this would be such a big matchup, especially for Manchester United fans who would love to beat the blue side of Manchester in such a huge occasion to maybe kickstart a new era within Manchester itself. Bruno Fernandes, Harry Kane in the center. Hold up, Rashford. Let him cook. Barella. Oh, hold up. To the right. Bruno Fernandes again. Casemiro, I see you at the far post. Can you win that? Yes, he can. I'm telling you. Casemiro is such a big player for Manchester United, and even at this stage, the former Real Madrid Champions League winner, is stepping up to get that trophy for United now. It's a great cross from Bruno Fernandes. He sees Casemiro in between two. Diaz just watches on as it happens. Beautiful goal. Oh, Haaland struggling against Bastoni and the boys. That is what you want to see, isn't it? I do wonder, though, can I make the best of a player like Harry Kane? Because I never really buy players like that. Maybe he can show me exactly what he's worth with a shot. Ederson didn't look too great there, I have to admit. Lovely. Luke Shaw winning that for me. Barella straight down to Rashford.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Rashford! Yes! I always wanted to pull that off. I really did. I think I've seen it in a different video, like an Ultimate Team video. I think Nepenthes did it. He did the skill move and did the power shot, which was something I never thought of. And I've just gone for it with Rashford, who obviously has an insane knuckleball on him. That is such a satisfying goal. Incredible. Ten Hag, of course you're happy. Haaland now wants to respond for Manchester City. It's a good ball. I'll have to give it to him. Phil Foden. Haaland. Oh, yep. That is not going in, pal. You got to be doing better than that. Not the best of clearances. I'll have to... Wow. Yes! De Gea. Hey, I'm telling you. The guy still has it in him. KDB putting it through the legs of Bruno. Oh, wow. That is some passing. And that De Gea, my friends, he just wants that trophy more than anyone in the City attack. Oh, that's a goal. Oh, saved on the line. Luke Shaw, get in. Yes. What a first half. Wow. That ball is just good, but I thought I had it. I was pretty confident that I had done well enough to stop it there. Haaland, he just goes through the slide tackle. Haaland will not be stopped no matter what you try. Ah, get away, pal. I've seen you score plenty of goals. It's 2-1. 15 minutes to go. Got to be careful. Haaland turning into KDB, playing an incredible ball, and they are actually back. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Ferran Torres makes it 2-2. You have to be kidding me. Oh my lord, they actually freaking did it. Unbelievable stuff for Manchester City. This game is not over yet. But that also means that I still get to have a chance here. Sancho, good ball. Casemiro and the boys waiting in the center. Here goes the man on the left. Rashford losing it. Good steal. Back heel. Harry Kane, lovely dribble into Dalot. Get in there. Why is no one getting in there? Man, Harry Kane gets the shot off. Ooh, it was the outside of the boot. That was incredible, Harry. Harry Kane. Go on, Rashford. Make that run for me, kid. He's not a kid. What am I saying here? Rashford cuts in. Finesse! I never scored him, but I do with Marcus Rashford. I actually green timed it, which I don't think I've green timed a shot since FIFA 19. I don't think FIFA 19 had green timing shots. Anyways, who cares? It's 3-2. Come on, Harry. Do better. I mean, I guess he did something there. Go on, Casemiro. Casemiro on the sprint. Casemiro sprinting forward. Can he find Marcus Rashford in the center? Casemiro. Mate, he is just unstoppable. If it comes down to winning the Champions League trophy, just give the ball to Casemiro. He will make it happen. And he did it once again. A goal and an assist for the old man, some would say. Casemiro being recognized as one of the best midfielders in the world, but too many people still think that he's too old. And I don't think so. I mean, he is experienced, if anything. Sancho, pass and move. Dalot getting involved again. Good ball. I thought it was a good ball. Instead, we're now up against Haaland 1v1. Or actually, no, it's Ferran Torres. But the ref blows the whistle. United 4-2 victory over City, who pushed them into the extra time. But as you can tell, the United fans have something to celebrate. Bruno Fernandes has earned this trophy right here. I mean, technically speaking, probably Casemiro should get it, but Harry Kane right next to him as it happens. Lads, what do we think? Is this a possibility? Is this something that you can see happen? I mean, I am just now looking at the news that says 5 players that Manchester United could be buying if they do get taken over by the Qataris. Apparently, Diogo Costa, Mazraoui, Bellingham, Frankie de Jong, and Osimhen. Osimhen, by the way, was the second striker behind Harry Kane that I was potentially looking to bring in. But I think Harry Kane, a Premier League proven striker, is the one you should go for. You can get at least 4 good years out of him with the style of play that he has, because he's not necessarily relying too much on pace. But that, my friends, is the end. The Qataris have taken over and haven't overspent, but spent enough to go ahead and get this beautiful trophy. United fans, let me know your thoughts on this situation. Have a good day, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Follow me on Instagram. Take care and peace.